Okay, so today we're going to be working on linear word problems, and we're going to be looking at slope-intercept form word problems because we've already kind of talked about standard form word problems, but today we're going to talk specifically about y equals word problems. So I want you to think about, first of all, what you remember about the M and the B, and hopefully you can tell me that this one is my starting point or the beginning. Okay, the beginning. And this one is the one that changes. Okay, now here's what we need to think about. This one is going to be the constant. So the B never changes. That is my constant thing. That's going to happen once. Okay, that's going to happen once. This one, the slope, is going to change depending on either number of shirts, number of miles, something. It's going to change. Okay, so we have to be prepared to figure out which one is which. So let's read this word problem, and we're going to read it twice. The first time I want you just to listen, okay? And the second time I want you to read it and circle the starting point and box the slope. So Lynn is tracking the progress of her plant's growth. Today, the plant is 5 centimeters high. The plant grows 1.5 centimeters per day. Okay, let's read it again. And let's circle the starting point. Lynn is tracking the progress of her plant's growth. Today, the plant is 5 centimeters high. So that's probably important, that number. So is that my starting point, or is that what's changing? That is my starting point. So I'm going to go ahead and circle this. This is my B. Okay, that's my B. So that's going to go down here. The plant grows at 1.5 centimeters per day. So this is kind of a helpful hint for me. So if I see the words per, each, or every, that is probably my slope. Okay, that's probably my slope. So 1.5 centimeters per day, that means that every day the plant is going to grow more. It's going to grow 1.5 centimeters more each day. So that is my slope. So my equation would be y equals 1.5x plus 5. Okay, now let's look at what they have here. They have y equals D something D blank. So it says write a linear model that represents the height of the plant after D days. So they're actually wanting me to replace D with X. Okay, they're saying that that's what's going to change. So 1.5 plus 5. So that's all we changed was our X and our D. All right, what will the height of the plant be after 20 days? 20 days. Where's the 20 going to go? Is that my Y? Or is that my D? What am I looking for? Am I looking for a total? Because that's what Y is. Y is a total. And D was days. So where's the 20 go? If you're thinking it's the D, you're right. So I have Y equals 1.5. I'm going to use a parenthesis. Plus 5. In goes my 20. Okay? Let's multiply 1.5 times 20, that's going to give me 30. So y equals 30 plus 5. That's going to give me 35. So what is this? Bananas? What am I talking about? Anytime I have word problems, I have to label. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the plant. So the plant is 35 centimeters tall. Okay? The plant is 35 centimeters tall or high. All right, let's look at another one. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to circle for B and we're going to box for M. Casey has a small business making dessert baskets. She estimates that her fixed weekly costs for rent and electricity are $200. The ingredients for one dessert basket cost $250. Okay, so let's think about this. We're going to read it again. Which one of these is my constant? Which one is not going to change no matter what? Casey has a small business making dessert baskets. She estimates that her fixed weekly costs for rent and electricity are $200. This is my B. That amount is not going to change. I'm going to have to pay rent and electricity of $200 whether I sell 5 baskets or 100 baskets. Okay, that is my B. That means that my 250 is what's going to change. So that is my slope. Okay, that is my slope. So the M is 250, the B is 200. So 2.5x plus 200 is my equation. Okay, now it wants us to write that same equation with different letters. It says, write the equation with T for total and C for cost. So T is my total, that's my Y. The C is replacing the X, so 2.5x plus 200. Okay, here we go. If Casey made 40 baskets this past week, let me get my calculator up here. What were her total weekly costs? Okay, what was her weekly cost? Well, where does this 40 go? Is it T or C? It's C. I'm looking for total. So 2.5 times the 40 baskets, and I still have to pay my 200. So 2.5 parenthesis 40. Oh, I lost a 4. 40 plus my 200. What did it cost me? It cost me a total of $300. Okay, that was my weekly cost. Okay, now her total cost for the week were $562.50. How many baskets did she make the week before? Let's read that again. Her total cost for the week were $562.50. How many dessert baskets did she make for the week? So is that T or is that C? Well, that's a total. It says her total cost. So $562.50 equals 2.5x plus 200. So why don't you take a minute and solve that for x? Okay, let's see how you did. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract. So 562 minus 50, that's 362.50. And then I have to divide by 2.5. So 362.5 divided by 2.5 gives me an x of 145. Well, what are those? Bananas? No, they are baskets. Specifically, dessert baskets. So she made 145 dessert baskets. Okay, so today you're working on developing the equation, substituting in and solving correctly. So whether you're substituting in for the x or whether you're substituting in for the total, you have to decide and accurately solve. Okay, so take your time, do a good job, ask questions as you get stuck.